Every hug, every kiss, every touch, every person in my life that I care about and love. But wait, maybe I'm getting too emotional. That's exactly what they say you ain't supposed to do. Suppress your feelings, never talk about your pain. Can't appreciate the sun without acknowledging it rains, right? That's right. So this a moment of clarity. And make sure you always protect your energy. You stay focused and your life gon' be lit. And you are now rocking with Celeste, the therapist. Let's go.
Hey, hi, beautiful people. If you are watching me on the replay, my name is Celeste, and I am a therapist from Boston. I started coming on last week to kind of come in, check in about mental health. I call it like the mental health check-in. I am streaming on 3 different platforms. We're on Periscope, we're on YouTube, and we're on Facebook. I guess we could say we're on 4 platforms because Twitter, Periscope streams on Twitter, so we're on 4 different platforms. So that's exciting. So my goal in coming on here is to just kind of check in, see where everybody's from, see how everybody's doing. My goal is to kind of like create community. I really want people to kind of have a place to go to get some knowledge, hear from other people that may be in the same boat as them. I also want to share some information too. So there's this, I share it at the end of each show, but there's this crisis hotline called the crisis text line, 741-741. I know sometimes people have trouble like speaking or putting things into words. So this is a really good hotline that's free, that allows you to kind of talk, check in. You don't have to be in a place of being suicidal. You can just, even if you're just kind of feeling down and want somebody to talk to and have a safe person to kind of check in with, this is a really good hotline to contact. Hey, Joshua. So another thing, I have a podcast. So if you ever like these shows that I do or want to listen to it just from the perspective of the person that's speaking, I have repurposed them, and it is on my podcast. So if you don't follow my podcast already, you should check it out. It's called Celeste, the Therapist Podcast. And the goal in the podcast is to just help people kind of shift the way they think. And I've been able to do that. So I've been podcasting since 2018, and I've been able to do that by talking to people who are doing things to empower other people. And that's why I came up with this idea for this show, because the first week I said, I want to empower people. I want to help encourage people. And I said, what better way to help encourage people than to talk to everyday people that are in the same situation and probably finding themselves struggling, and just kind of listening to it from a different perspective. So today I have a really special guest. So every day I'm bringing you a new guest. So today I have a really special guest. Her name is Priscilla. And she is the owner of Protect Your Strands. And I'm going to have her come on. We're going to check in how she's doing, and then kind of talk about like what kind of ways we can work on like protecting our hair, if that's something that you found yourself struggling with. So if this is something that you find useful or meaningful, please share. All right, so I'm going to welcome Miss Priscilla to the stage. I'm going to welcome her to the stage. Hello, hi.
Hi, everyone. Hey, Celeste. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Can you just tell people your name and what you do?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Priscilla. I'm currently an educator and a hairstylist in the beauty industry. As you mentioned before, I am the founder of Protect Your Strands, which is a hairstyling service and a product brand promoting healthy hair, empowerment, and creativity.
Okay, when you say empowerment, what do you mean by that?
So empowerment, inspiring through strands, really. So a lot of people gain their confidence from, a lot of different areas in life, but I feel like everyone gains that confidence from a fresh haircut, a nice hairstyle. And so that just makes you feel like empowered. You could take on the world, you could do whatever you want. And that kind of goes hand in hand with creativity, just stepping outside your comfort zone and just being a better version of yourself.
I love that. And I know now you're not, this is live. So this is live right now. We're live. So I'm curious because right now your service requires you to use your hands and be with people. Like my service, I've already been kind of talking to people online. How has the coronavirus kind of affected the business? Because I've seen you just kind of grow and you just were blooming, and then like there was this big halt that's happened.
Right. So not just me, but I know all other barbers, hairstylists, or anyone who kind of serves a role in servicing as a cosmetic or, hairstyling, any type of beauty interaction. Like you said, we work very closely with our clients. Like we really have to touch them. So with this whole coronavirus going around, that puts a huge halt into our business. I know recently it really hit close to home when the beauty supply stores temporarily closed down, because what I do with my appointments, I provide everything at my appointment. So the fact that my source has closed down, I can no longer get the materials and tools that I need to give to my clients. And so that obviously puts a blow in the income. But overall, our health is priority, and we do need to take that serious.
That's good. Besides actually doing hair, are there other services? Because you said you're a one-stop shop. What other services do you have?
Yeah, so aside from me providing hairstyles, Protect Strands does have an online store. So we do sell products from hair products and hair bonnets, anything you pretty much need to keep your hair healthy and for maintaining your hair at home. What I actually recently did was, I know with the kids being at home, I know how that could be. It could be a little hectic. I used to be a classroom teacher, so I know how important structure is. So I feel like this is actually a perfect time for parents to kind of instill that self-care and the in-home the hair routines, especially in your kids starting at a young age, because embracing your beauty, embracing your hands, your hair, definitely has no age limit. So I'm encouraging parents to kind of put that in your routine at home. And what I recently did was on my online store, kids bonnets are 50% off with any purchase online.
So when you say routine, how does that work for people that may have never kind of thought about it this way of they've never had to do their child's hair or anything like that? What kind of suggestions would you have for them?
That's a really good question. So routine, definitely, you can do a lot of things that doesn't require your hairstylist to be around all the time. Something as simple as when you go to sleep, make sure you're putting a hair bonnet to cover your head. It should be silk satin material. If you don't have that type of head covering, making sure you're sleeping on a satin or a silk pillowcase, because something as simple as that has a lot to do with the health and the value of your hair.
What does the having this silk kind of bonnet, how does that create a different type of maintenance for your hair?
Yeah, so the texture, the material is everything. If you have anything other than satin or silk, whether it's cotton, polyester, that actually causes a friction on your strands, and that actually leads to breakage. So you don't want that friction on your hair. So you want to make sure you have a soft silk texture, and it also seals in moisture as well, just keeping your hair moisturized and keeping your hair soft, not allowing it to detangle, all of that. So material is definitely important to have. So
let's say that we have never done our hair before. I used to get my hair done once a month. I have locks, so I feel like I'm in a different boat because I just put my hair in a ponytail and go. But what kind of home care stuff can people do? They may not need to style it. They ain't going nowhere. We're in the house, right? But maybe we want to keep our hair moisturized and we want to keep that natural style that we may have already created. What kind of routines can people do with that?
Yeah. So first of all, just because we're not going anywhere does not mean you in the house. Just going back to our the beginning conversation, hair gives you that confidence. So believe it or not, like if you have your hair's popping, like you might start cleaning the entire house, So I encourage you to still, look cute, look decent, look presentable, because that has a lot to do with the energy given out wherever,
right.
wherever you are. So for someone who kind of doesn't know the routine or kind of always relies on a hairstylist, especially for you having locks where you just said you just kind of throw it up in a ponytail, you actually said the key thing, keeping your hair moisturized. So another way to maintaining healthy hair is keeping it moisturized, because your hair is still prone to breakage when it's dry because it gets brittle. It's kind of like you have a flower. If you're no
longer to do stuff,
huh?
I still need to do stuff. I can't just put in the ponytail.
No, girl. Hair is hair. Your strands, your follicles, no matter how it's.
Oh my
God! You got to take care of it starting at the root.
All right, so tell me, what can I do? This is a serious question. I ain't worried about these people that's watching. I got questions right now. What am I supposed to do? I thought I was good.
No, so just because you have locks does not mean you neglect your hair. And that actually is going to lead me to what I'm going to say next is, just because you have a protective style in does not mean, oh, I'm good to go, up and go. No. Protected style does not mean neglected style. So you still need to protect your actual hair in or under the protected style, whether it's oiling your scalp every other night or every other day before you go about your activities or before you go to bed. Because like I said, a dry hair, dry scalp, you're leading your hair to breakage. It's like if you have a flower, a seed, you're not watering it, what does it eventually do? It brittles, dies down, it does its thing because it's not being taken care of.
Okay.
Oil your scalp, girl. Oil your scalp.
Are there any kind of natural things at home that we can use that can kind of help us out in this area with a lot of stores being closed? People are, struggling with wanting to get out, but maybe thinking a little bit about their hair. Tell me what kind of things we can do.
For sure. So right in your refrigerator, you can whip up a nice deep treatment or a nice deep conditioner for your hair. An example of some ingredients can be a combination of eggs, aloe vera, mayonnaise, maybe oil. You can mix in your favorite couple drops of your conditioner, stir it up. After you kind of shampoo and condition your hair, you would spread it out all over your hair and then throw on the shower cap for about 15, 20 minutes, read a book, do whatever in that meantime, and then go back into the water and rinse it out. So all those ingredients are natural and super good, great and healthy for your hair. So it's giving you moisture. It's really just sinking into those follicles and giving it the food that it needs.
So if we were to at least get kind of our scalp, right, will that help, or do we need to go all the way down to our strands?
So your hair is everything. It's not just the ends. It's not it's not just the root. You have to do from the roots all the way down.
Okay.
And your scalp.
Okay. No, that's good. What are some things that you're doing to kind of help? Because right now you're you can't physically be with people. Are there any things that you're doing to kind of educate people? You literally just taught me something. I thought I was good. I thought I wasn't gonna have any styles, but I was I could just put in a ponytail. So I can't be the only person with that mindset. Are you doing anything to help educate my people? Because we need help.
Yes, of course, I got you. So a lot of my clients know that my line is always open. They're constantly asking me questions, whether they have a current style or just anything hair related to keep their hair intact, I guess, or presentable. Mm-hmm. Also, what I'm doing, since I'm currently not taking clients at the moment, a lot of my posts are going to be geared towards, what I just spoke about, what you can do at home with what remedies you can kind of mix together. I also have a great team that I work with out in New York City. Effie, who is the founder of D Hair Prof. You can go ahead and follow dhairprofcommunity.com. Also, I encourage to use this time to figure out new styles that you can do with your hair. A lot of the posts provide step-by-steps on what you can do with your hair at home, pretty much what I was just saying. Yeah, so I'll repeat the at name, the handle again. It's D Hair Prof Community on IG .com.
D Haircroft.
D Hair Prof PROF.
Okay, community.
Yes. So
okay.
That's the team that I work with out in New York, and Effie is the founder of that company. And so a lot of her posts are geared towards the same thing as far as like how we can kind of encourage people and give useful resources on how we can, keep our hair healthy and manage it while we're at home.
Now, one of the things that, I just started the show this week, but one of the things that I have been trying to do is just have my guests kind of talk about some like takeaways. One of the things that I did a post today and I said, everybody responds differently to crisis, right? There's a lot of things that we are concerned about. But what are some takeaways that you have as a business owner whose business stopped? It sounds like now that you're like, you can't do it hands-on, but you're trying to think of other ways to stay connected to your community. Like as a business owner, like what kind of advice would you have to other small business owners right now?
Yeah, definitely just continue doing what you're doing, even if you're currently not, interacting physically with clients. Continue making those posts, keeping those contents consistent, because we really need to do things to stay relevant, and that showing that we're not giving up. And consistency is key to really just having a successful business and just being a better individual.
That's good. And what kind of things are you doing for yourself to make sure you're taking care of yourself? Because one of the things I said today was that everybody's responding differently. It's okay that if you don't feel like revamping your business or you need to catch your breath, and like I just want people to understand, like even though I'm doing these series, I'm not saying like go and run and do what you need to do, but I'm saying like, when you catch your breath, when you're ready to refocus, like I really want you to think about these steps. So like what have you done for yourself on a personal level to help yourself stay grounded to be able to do the stuff that you're doing?
Yeah, so I'm definitely, again, just taking a step back from the client visits, but I'm focusing more on prioritizing my online store. Again, just because I'm not doing your hair physically does not mean the hair journey doesn't stop. So I will continue to make posts to help you, remind you what to do with your hair. I'll do some deals. All of that.
Different things. Okay, awesome. Is there anything else you want to tell my audience? First, I just want to say thank you for coming on to share this information. I'm always grateful when other people can talk about like how they're dealing with things and like how it's affecting them and kind of some tips that we can take away. I think that there's power in community. And so that's why I'm so grateful for you being in. But do you have anything else you want to say to my audience?
Yes. Don't panic. Don't worry. I think when everyone kind of got the word that barbershops and salons were closing, there was just a huge, oh my God, my lashes, my eyes, my hair, what am I going to do with this quarantine life? But and I think I seen like a meme going around saying, all right, day number 5 of quarantine, I'm about to shave my head.
Well, I wasn't panicking until you told me I couldn't put my hair to a ponytail, so I'm going to have to like rethink my life right now.
So like, if you want to shave your head during this time, cool. But I definitely don't suggest you like dyeing or coloring your hair at all out of boredom or whatever. Don't do it, because it's actually when that time comes for you to go to a hairstylist, it's just going to be a terrible appointment because we'd have to reverse everything, all the damage. So I don't suggest dyeing your hair during this time. So I encourage everyone at home, if you don't have a protective style in, just use this time to kind of like experiment with your hair, discover the do's and don'ts, what products it reacts to, what styles it reacts to, and just kind of falling in love with yourself, your own natural hair, and then kind of just adding in that hair routine in yourself, in your kids, if you have kids as well. Making sure that you're sleeping on satin or silk material.
That's good. Priscilla, thank you so much for being here. Guys, if you enjoyed the episode and you wanted to share it, the podcast episode will be up tonight, where you can just share the content from Priscilla. Really good information around how to protect your hair and some things to think about as a business owner. So Priscilla, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys. So that is happening Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we are discussing, how people are coping and what people are doing to kind of navigate what's happening. I really want to reiterate the fact that everybody is going to respond differently to crisis, right? The way I've been able to respond, I've been doing so much work over the years that like my reaction, it feels a little different. It's not the same as how some people maybe should be reacting, right? A lot of us are currently this is the first time we've made space to kind of be still. So we are not really, we're not really used to being with our own thoughts. Like that's not something that we're used to. So, we're going to find ourselves struggling around this time. Right. Does anybody have any questions before I go? I also wanted to let you guys know after this at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. CST time, I'm going to be on a network. We're talking about navigating your anxiety during the pandemic. So it's a live chat. It's a free chat with Pastor Sean Marshall, Mr. Terrell Wheat, and James Perkins. So it's tonight, 8 p.m. Central Time. Practical tools to navigate seasons of uncertainty. And this is a free chat. All you have to do is register on Manifest Network. Actually, let me just say it right. So it's manifestnetwork.tv to register. Let me just put that up there so that everyone is clear on that. So manifestnetworktv.com to register, where we're just going to be talking about how to navigate the pandemic. One thing, so this has been a full week of us kind of coming together and talking about the things that have been happening and how we have been coping. A big takeaway that I've gotten from all of my guests from different spheres of life is to take time to breathe, right? It's okay to say that you're not okay. If you are looking to work on your platform or work on your business, it's okay to do that. Make space and time for that. That's okay. And look for new ideas. Look for community. There's a lot of communities taking place online. I've seen a lot of innovative things. So, take time to mourn the loss of the fact that you're not able to go out and do the things that you used to do. But I don't want people to sit in what they're feeling, because what happens is the more we isolate ourselves, the more depressed we may feel, the more we may find ourselves struggling. And this is week 2. And from what they're saying, it could go on until May or June. So I really want people to kind of protect their mental health. So I call this the mental health check-in. I want you guys to do that every day, even though we're not here Saturday and Sunday. I'm not going to see you guys Saturday and Sunday on here. I'll be back Monday, but I still want you to do that mental health check-in. Like, how am I feeling? I may not feel good today. And guess what? That's okay. Like, it's okay to say that I'm not feeling good. But I do want us to be proactive with creating a schedule for ourselves and working through what we're feeling, and being okay with saying I'm not okay. So I love you guys so much. Don't forget, you can check out my podcast. This episode will be on the podcast, Celeste the Therapist podcast, really amazing podcast. You can find me on Instagram, Celeste the Therapist. That's my business page, nothing but mental health content. And then here, if you want to follow me on my personal Instagram, I do mental health content, but I do share pieces of my life on here. So you can follow me there. Any other information? Thank you, Wes. I appreciate you. You have a good weekend too. Any other information? you want to check out what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, celestetherapist.com. And I love you guys so much. Please check in with yourself, because Monday I'm going to be asking y'all how it went. I'm going to be asking y'all, so don't forget. And so I will talk to you guys later.
Every hug, every kiss, every touch, every person in my life that I care about and love. But wait, maybe I'm getting too emotional. That's exactly what they say you ain't supposed to do. Suppress your feelings, never talk about your pain. Can't appreciate the sun without acknowledging it rains, right? That's right. So this a moment of clarity. And make sure you always protect your energy. You stay focused and your life gon' be lit. And you are now rocking with Celeste the therapist. Let's go.